This is gonna be a sad day. Oh, such a sad day. But for this reason, I will actually do the impossible. Well, not impossible. Well, what we're gonna do today is that not only are we going to do Wendy, where are you? Oh, I mean Chavi. Yeah, we're gonna be doing Chavi, but at the same time, we're also gonna be reviewing Wendy. Now, I just want to do this specifically because I want to get you guys the slight differences between the two, and you know what they're useful for. So if I never made a Wendy guide, so if you have Wendy and you for some reason don't know how to use her, and now Chavi's out and you're like, I don't know how to use her either, this one's for you. Alright, but first we're gonna start off with Chavi. Let's see, first she starts off in a pink suit, then blue, then eventually gets the green. Nothing too crazy here. The bow gets more extravagant. Do I see anything else? Not really. And do I care about anything else? No. So let's go over the skills one more time. I know you guys have probably heard this 16,000 times. Here's 16,001. So first off is the leader skill. Restores all allies HP by 7% when allies use a skill. So I'm not gonna say what Wendy's does because it's literally the same thing. It's just that hers is just a slightly higher on certain percentages. So just keep that in mind. You'll be fine. Next up is the first passive skill. Obtains 1 focus magic power every time an ally receives a buff or HP recovery from the caster's skills. Keep that in mind that it's from the caster's skills. It's not from anyone else's skills. So from her specific skills, when she heals you and when you receive a buff, you will get focus magic. So normally, let's just say if we just use the first passive, she attacks something, she's going to heal every character, boom, instantaneously 5 stacks. And you know, if she multi-strikes, boom, instantaneously 10 stacks. That's just how it works. 100% chance to restore all allies HPs by 15% when attacking. So not only that, regardless, you know, if you actually use her leader skill, she will heal every time she attacks, regardless. So alongside with this, that's 7% there, and then on top of that, 15% when she's attacking. So even though she is an attacker, it made more sense as a hybrid with Wendy, is that, you know, you have a way of healing, and not many characters have that. That's why I really like Basker, is because Baskerville is able to heal himself as an attacker. And if you give him a dodge mechanic, you know, it really allowed him to like take some damage, not full damage, but take some, evade some, heal himself back up and stuff like that. Now what's cool about this is that there is nothing cool. I'm sorry. Her being an attacker is slightly problematic just from the fact that she's going to be squishy. Now most of the time a character like this has a resolve, has a revive, something to keep them in the fray, but you can snipe her because we're gonna go to the 60 passive. Miracle Magic increases damage dealt by 7% per focus magic power. Inflicts damage equal to 7% of attack that ignores defense. Sweet! Inflicts damage equal to 200% of attack that ignores defense to the target and to adjacent enemy targets if the character has 10 focus magic power when attacking. So what's really cool about that is that after you pretty much heal twice or did 2 attacks with this character, you'll be at full max, and then you can snipe the face of the earth, and you will actually do a cone damage. It will ignore some defense, as you see, inflicts damage equal to 7% that ignores defense. You also get increase your damage dealt for each one, so that could be a 70% increase of damage, you know, if you're at max stats, which is nuts. Also, you will do even more damage AoE, not AoE, but to your adjacent people as well. So it's really strong, and on a hybrid like Wendy, it was like, wow, she can do some damage on top of being slightly tanky. But this is a little bit tilted in the favor of extreme damage. This is extreme damage that she can pull out. Just keep that in mind. So first up, as you can see, the magical wind. Nothing crazy here that's going to be happening, but as you can see, it inflicts more damage if the HP of the target is higher. Now the reason why a lot of people love this when Wendy first came out was because the boss has, I think, infinite HP. I could be wrong about that. Obviously for the guild boss, it's really good because the guild boss usually starts off with a lot of HP. You gotta be 50% or higher, but even then it's also good because if you're hitting a target initially it's gonna do decent amount of damage because it just gets this additional damage plus the other stuff that we just mentioned. Now remember, she doesn't actually start off with any focus power whatsoever. Just keep that in mind. So leveling this up just increases the damage that it does. So next up is going to be the magical circle. Grants focus power to all allies, increases damage dealt by a single target attacks by 40%, which is going to be her S1 and her S3 are both single target attacks. Caster gains strike preparation to guarantee the next attack will critically strike for 1 turn. So right off the bat, when you use the S2 focus power to all allies, so that's boom, 5 buffs that go out immediately, which is this, the focus power. And then the caster gains, which is just herself, gains strike preparation, which is 1 single buff, so 5 and then 6. Because allies, which includes herself. Nothing happens here except that eventually it goes to 2 turns, which is pretty good, especially if you're doing this as far as like world boss and stuff like that. And obviously the damage goes up, and then the guarantee to strike preparation also goes up to 2 turns. The only reason why that's relevant is if you get stunned for a turn or anything like that, you're able to still get your strike preparation strike off the next turn, because once you do hit, it will go away. Now what's weird is that how this is written, I could have swore that it gave the strike preparation buff to everyone, not just the caster, but I could be wrong. And I did just check Wendy's, and Wendy's is written the same way as well, but I could have swore she gave strike preparation to everyone. So I might need to go test that. You know, that'd be really weird if it didn't. Anyway, last but not least is going to be the wind explosion. Penetration damage, which is pretty good, and it's going to be a single target S3 nuke, inflicts additional damage equal to whatever that ignores the defense if the attack fails to kill the target, which is obviously really good if you're doing this for, again, the boss dungeon, because obviously you cannot kill the boss, so it will always do this additional damage. Nothing special here when it levels up, just more damage. Because Wendy, like I said, was not part of that, and for some, I would have hoped that they would have gave Chavi or Chavi, you know, some of that new skill enhancement swag, but they did not. And that's pretty much the character. So it's just a damage bot, but like I said, when she was a hybrid, when Wendy as a hybrid kind of made it like somewhat supported. It's kind of like how Ramu, you can build Ramu to sit there and tank and actually keep everyone alive, but Wendy would technically out heal Ramu. Ramu, you know, when she counters, or you know, she needs a turn to heal, but when you did Wendy as a tanky character with multi-strike and with counter, you could actually get a lot of healing through, and then, you know, when your turn actually came, you can S3. Like, S3 in the beginning is not that good with the way this is all set up. You want to at least S2 first and then S3, and then, you know, do some S1s in there too. But you also, you know, can run some type of counter. We're going to go into that when we get to the runes, but let's go check out those base stats. Seriously, why didn't they allow us to sort this in alphabetical order? It blows my mind. I hate looking through this, because even if I sort it by, oh, let me go by element, wind, and then like they just always put your most used characters here at the top, and then eventually goes down to, I hate it. Anyway, so all SSR attackers are going to have the same stats, but what we're looking here for is the speed. And as we can see here, her base speed is atrocious. 558. You can't run her speed. She's still not going to go first in an arena scenario. Obviously, she's not going to be able to go first, which is really weird. I wonder if Wendy has the same speed. Wow, they copied the speed too. If you guys don't know, like, all the base stats of SSR of a certain role, I say it all the time, are the same. So a hybrid is going to have the same base stats as another hybrid as a SSR. The only difference is going to be the attack speed. So it's just funny that they, not only did they copy the character, but they also copy the attack speed, which is the one of the unique things that a character can have over another one. It's just kind of funny that they didn't bother to change that either. When we're talking copy and pasta with Chavi, we're not kidding. Not kidding whatsoever. So when it comes down to runes, now that we know, the main reason why I checked the attack speed first is if we can go first, that's a really big deal, because especially with a buffer, she is an attacker, but her S2 buff is really strong, and if you can get that to go first before your other attackers, that would be really good. So you can actually run agility if you want to try, but you're gonna need a lot of attack speed sub stats here, and on top of running the agility set, if you want her to go first, just keep that in mind. You can either go for that or you can just go for raw damage. She still should have good damage in general. She's only gonna get good damage once she gets a turn or if she counters. You know, that's the only thing, is that as you can see here, there is no consuming. Nothing consumes her focus power. So once she has it, she has it. It's over. You know, she'll stay at 10 focus magical power, and that's gonna be it. She does not consume it. Nothing here says that it gets consumed. So once you're at that, you are ready to rock out for the rest of your life-o. So, you know, that's really, really good. So you just have to focus on doing that as quick as possible. So agility might actually just be the best thing. You might lose some damage by not going rage, but at least once you get that attack, and if it's, especially if it's a multi-strike, you're at 10 right then and there. But as I mentioned before, she has no resolve, she has no revive, she literally is just a pure DPS unit. So for Arena, in my opinion, that's where she's gonna not do as well. So at that point, you're gonna go agility, revenge, or multi-strike. You can go revenge set, or it's called continuity. There we are, or continuity. Since she's an attacker, I don't think that revenge is good. You guys usually hear me say that I think counter is best because you will get attacked more than you will be able to attack yourself. But in this situation, with her being an attacker and having absolutely zero way of survivability, you might as well just either, like I said, run her fast, and then once you get your turn, multi-strike, and then hopefully get another turn and survive long enough that you can actually get the kill. That's why, again, she's really only used for advents. Same thing with Wendy, was only used for advents and boss dungeon. That's really all you're gonna get out of that. So with that being the case, might as well multi-strike. If we're being honest here, might as well multi-strike. I wouldn't even go agility unless you're gonna use her in arena. If we're using her for the PvE aspect, which is what most people are gonna do, just go continuity, multi-strike, get that thing up as soon as possible, and just start doing a crap ton of damage. You see all that ignored defense that there was in her passives. You see the ignored defense that's on her S3. Once you get that up, it's a woo, and you keep healing everybody like crazy, then that might be able to, you know, sustain the team a little bit better, and then have a reviver with her that's gonna keep her alive. Also, another thing that quick to note, let me run down to it. I mean, I shouldn't have to say it, rage is always good for attackers, but most importantly, where is it? Assault. Not saying that you have to go assault, but crit chance is really good on characters that have ignored defense. The damage is insane if they crit, so just always keep that in mind. And when it comes down to Wendy, it's pretty much the same thing. They're played the same way. It's just that the only difference is that you can actually focus less on damage with Wendy because she's a hybrid, so she has inherently more HP, more defense than Chavi's gonna have. Chavi, you want to run more YOLO, more I'm probably gonna die, so if I do get a turn, or when I do get a turn, I want to deal massive damage, or at least get that S2 buff, give everyone else the buffs, and then someone come revive me. Wendy doesn't get one shot, but Chavi probably will. Alright guys, let's go over these lovely, beautiful hero talents. Now obviously these are going to be different from Wendy's. I'll do Wendy's right after this. But for an attacker, we're obviously going to go with the attack increase. Come on guys, this is 3rd grade. You can actually go, no, you go with the attack. Don't make me hate you. Alright, so next up, like I said, you could try to use her in arena, but you're most likely going to be doing this to bosses, especially if it counts in the boss dungeon. You definitely want that free damage. 54, we're going to go with just the defense increase because she has nothing keeping her alive, so might as well try to mitigate the damage if you can slightly. Next up, 56, same thing, lower that damage you're going to take into bosses. She has no dodging mechanics or damage mitigation, so don't do that. And like I said, if you want to use an arena, go right on ahead. I'm losing my mind. Next up, going to be planned attack, because like I said, if you have ignored defense, you definitely want to crit. It does buku damage in there, and number 60 will always be duh. Now, if we're going with Wendy, it's going to be slightly different, obviously not, you know, she's a different role, so she has a little bit different thing here, so you're probably going to want to end up with the planned attack. Next up, 52, increase the damage. You might as well, yeah, just no on the poison. I went here with nerve strike, but that's just because, yeah, whatever, you want to go with this. 56, fortified armor, lower the damage that you're going to be taking. And last but not least, Subjugation is going to be that we want to do more damage to the bosses. 60 is also going to be duh. So it's very similar, but different because of the two different roles. Alright, so here we are. We have our lovely girl. I'm just bringing these guys in so I can test out the S2, which we will do first. Boom, as you can see. So I don't know why it's written that way. As you guys saw when we read it before, it said the caster gets the strike preparation, but like I said, they get it as well. So the S2, we have to reiterate this, but I couldn't remember, but the S2 now gives you full stacks. As I remembered that's how it worked, but I was like, wait, when you read it, it doesn't read like that. As you can see, so everyone got this one buff and this buff, so that means 2 per person, which means that we end up with max stacks as soon as you S2. Again, if you think you have some really good speed runes, I would suggest you do that. Get the speed out as quick as possible, and it's the same thing with Wendy. Get the speed, get the S2 up as quick as possible, and then boom, you're already at your lovely stacks. You don't lose it for anything. And let's look at the S1. I actually like that it actually like originates at the person. She like kind of shoots and explodes it. And I was a sucker and I didn't bring any other win characters, but I hope you guys can believe me that when there is other win characters, when she is the leader, it will trigger her thing as well. But as you can see, once you S2, it kind of doesn't matter. You have your max stats, so it's not like you're using the healing. It's just more something to sustain your characters, especially if you're having any issues with like Lily's dungeon. It makes it stupidly easy when you have other sources healing, and then if you guys don't know, when you're at full health, you take the charms off. Alright, so let's show off that lovely S3. That's really going to be it for me, to be honest, but you know, I actually like the way this animation looks. You know, it looks pretty cool. Like she's trying to focus it, then realize it's too much power, and then backs off. It's cute, you know. Gotta like the cute stuff every once in a while too. So I know that there's those people out there, so, and for people that had Wendy, because I think they gave it to you for free, so many people probably don't even know, like, oh, you know, whatever, I got it for free, I don't know what to do use it for. She's mostly used for boss dungeon. That is what she's used for. You can now use her in Lily. You can use her also in Tayo, and she probably has some uses in Ariandel as well, but mostly as, like I said, like a DPS that also just happens to heal. She's going to do a lot of damage because she's an attacker, so her base stats is more geared towards doing a lot more damage. And with the ignore defense stuff, she should be able to snipe out targets, but if they have resolve or anything like that, they'll just come right back. So, but at least she can kill them, right? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. And remember that every day at the Kashino is your lucky day. Peace.